I'm Dr. Emma Milne, Assistant Professor in Criminal Law and Criminal Justice at Durham University. My new book, Criminal Justice Responses to Maternal Filicide, Judging the Failed Mother, explores how the criminal justice system and the criminal law respond if they think a woman has caused the death of her newborn baby or her late-term fetus. In the book, I use 15 court transcripts from cases in England and Wales to explore how and why the women's conduct is constructed within the courtroom and also the laws that are used and how they're applied. The key findings from the book focus on the fact that the women experience crisis pregnancies, so pregnancies that cause them a crisis for some particular reason. These women were incredibly vulnerable, often living in contexts of violence and abuse, poverty, and other incredibly difficult situations. However, the courts often failed to recognise this level of vulnerability and the fact that the women were experiencing crisis pregnancies. Instead, the focus of court response was very much around why the woman did not act as the perfect mother, so using these good motherhood narratives that we see reflected in wider society, but also why she didn't act as the responsible pregnant woman. The key focus from the courts is very much this expectation that all women will do whatever they can and whatever they should in order to put the needs of the fetus before their own. That includes in these cases where the women experience crisis pregnancies. The further finding was that certain criminal laws are being used in ways that were not intended by Parliament when enacted, specifically the offence of procuring a miscarriage and of concealment of birth. Neither of these offences were designed to protect the fetus from harm that might be committed by the pregnant woman. And yet, there's clear evidence from these cases that that's precisely how these offences are now being used. Overall, the book has significance because it's the first time any cases like this have been used. It's also the first time that contemporary cases across different offences have been brought together in order to give us a good assessment of what is going on in such cases. The overall findings demonstrate not only what happens to women when their conduct is suggesting that she might have caused the death of a newborn baby or a late-term fetus, but it also gives us real insight into the expectations that are held around how women should behave when they are pregnant. The narratives that we see around these women, these particular women in these 15 cases, actually speaks to broader narratives that we see around the expectations of how we imagine and we think in society that women should do everything they can to put their fetus before themselves, regardless of their personal circumstances.